It has been a fantastic 5 years. I am so proud of everything that we have accomplished together to deepen and strengthen the U.S.-Cabo Verde bilateral relationship, both between our governments and our two peoples. So I had a very long to-do list when I came to Cabo Verde, and I'm very, very proud to say that I accomplished almost everything on the to-do list. The only thing I haven't accomplished was getting Peace Corps to return to Cabo Verde, but I think I'm very optimistic that we will still have good news about that eventually. But other than that, so many things that we've accomplished. We started the state partnership program between the New Hampshire National Guard and the Cabo Verdean military. We started a Fulbright program. We started an English teaching program in Saul. And then, of course, the big thing was the announcement that Cabo Verde is eligible to develop a regional compact with the Millennium Challenge Corporation. That was announced at the end of last year. And then, of course, we've really raised the profile of Cabo Verde in the United States, I think both with the business community and with the U.S. government. And we've had a number of very, very high-profile visitors while I've been here. In fact, we've hosted almost 10% of the U.S. Congress has visited Cabo Verde while I have been here. And then, of course, we had the Secretary of State's visit at the beginning of this year. And the two things that were the takeaway that I was so proud of from the Secretary of State's visit is in his opening remarks with the Prime Minister, he called Cabo Verde a beacon of stability in the region. And then as his plane was flying away, he tweeted, "I'm leaving Cabo Verde, one of our strongest partners in the region." So I thought that was a wonderful bookend describing Cabo Verde as really a role model for transparency and democracy and good governance and human rights, not just for Africa, but for the globe, and also accurately, I think, telling not just Cabo Verde, telling the United States, telling the world about our strong partnership. It's the United States and Cabo Verde are working together as equals to strengthen security in the region and to promote democracy and human rights around the world. So, I think from a programmatic standpoint, I think, there's just so many. You know, I named several of them already, but I think the one that I take the most credit for, that I think will have a very long-lasting impact, is the state partnership program between the New Hampshire National Guard and the Cabo Verdean military. I think that has really elevated the cooperation that we have in the security sector to just a whole new level, and that will continue to pay dividends for both countries' national security and the regional security for years and years to come. So my recommendation for Cabo Verde is just to never forget that the fantastic track record that Cabo Verde has for democracy, inclusivity, human rights. You should never take that as a given, that you will always have that. I mean, we see democracy and human rights under threat around the world. Yeah, you know, even in the United States, there are concerns about the strength of democracy in our own country, making certain that people get out and vote, that they're getting, who they want elected into office. And so, and we see that, there's so many important elections going on right now where the strength of democracy is a concern. And then, of course, in the region, we've seen so much backsliding. The number of coups and illegal transfers of power in the governments, I think there's been 4 or 5 in the region in just the past couple of years. So that would be my thought about a recommendation to Cabo Verdean people. Don't forget, Cabo Verde is just such a strong role model for democracy, social inclusivity, for promoting human rights. But just don't take it for granted. Always remember, it's something you always have to keep pressing for and guarding and protecting, and make certain that Cabo Verde remains this beacon for those values in the region and for the world. Cabo Verde is not going to be able to address climate change itself. I mean, Cabo Verde is one of the smallest contributors to climate change in the entire world. And so Cabo Verde's challenge is going to be adapting to climate change and continuing to raise awareness for the rest of the world of the importance of countries that can have an impact on combating climate change to do their part for it. The island that I think that embodies Cabo Verde the most is São Nicolau. Every island has its own special, unique, you've got the volcano in Fogo, you've got the flowers in Brava, you've got the beautiful beaches in Boa Vista and Sal, you've got the beautiful valleys of Santo Antão. I will say in São Nicolau, you have a little bit of every single island on São Nicolau. You've got the old crater volcanoes. You can go into old volcanic craters and you look around and say, oh, this is an old volcano. You've got some beautiful valleys fed by natural spring water in São Nicolau, like in Santo Antão. Not nearly as big, not as big or grand as like the Pau Valley, but it's still very, very beautiful. Beautiful beaches. And so I think for me, when I tell visitors to come, please go to São Nicolau, because if you can't visit every island, you get a little bit of the taste of all of Cabo Verde on São Nicolau.